Hello everyone and welcome to my achievement guide and walkthrough for The Lord of the Rings Return to Moria. I have about 60 hours between the PlayStation 5 Platinum Trophy and the Xbox getting all the achievements, so I've become fairly familiar with the game. I'm going to break this video down into a couple different sections, starting with the basics, quick building, some ideal loadout, how the map works, what to look out for. And then I'm going to roll into crafting, all the different things that you can craft as of right now, what you need to get the achievements and trophies, and how to find some of the more difficult items around the map. And then I'll finally do a quick little story walkthrough just based off of my map as it's already been discovered and what to expect. So let's get into it. First and foremost, it's important to know that the character that you create in the very beginning is going to be the character that can transfer between all worlds. And meaning that you can take this character and you can join any world that you create, and everything that he has on him will also transfer. And this also works with cross-platform. If your friends create a world, your character and everything that he has on him at the time can actually go to each of these worlds, and they can bring material back from other worlds into your own world and vice versa. This is particularly important because one of the items that I found myself struggling to get a copious amount of were the black diamonds that are required to create teleport points. They're required to progress in the story. And we actually had to create a second world in order to go in there and farm the black diamonds to bring them into our main world to continue. So I'm just going to go right into it. We're going to go ahead and load the world that I already have created. Here is my main world. I don't know how the sandbox worlds work. I have no idea if you can get campaign achievements on sandbox worlds. All I know is that I've done the campaign world on both the PlayStation prior to the most recent update, and now again on Xbox, and this is the only world type that I have done. So I don't know if any of these achievements are even available to unlock on the sandbox mode. Somebody else would have to comment on that. From the options here, you can play the map offline. You can host an online match. It is crossplay, so if you have friends on different systems, they are able to join using a code. It's pretty nice, actually. It works really well. I had no problems, even on launch day. I had, I think, 2 or 3 crashes. You just give the invite code to your friend, and you launch the game, and they're able to pop it in and join you. And as long as your instance of the world is running, as in you don't like back out and go back in, that code should continue to work for anybody as they drop in or out. When you start your world, you can press start and you can go to the far right to system and go down to difficulty. If you click on this, you can actually modify how hard or easy you want the game. Personally, I think that the combat and everything with the enemies is fine as default, because you want some of the enemy drops, like black diamonds, for instance, is one of the drops that you can get from enemies. You can set your mining drops to high. You can set your world drops to high. Horde frequency is whenever the enemies actually send hordes of enemies to your base or wherever you're at, and that's kind of that can kind of get in the way. So depending on how you want to do that, but it does bring orcs that can drop black diamonds. So same thing with siege frequency. They go to a base, one of your bases. Usually it's a base that you are at or a teammate is at, and they go and destroy the hearth and try and destroy all your stuff. So it kind of sucks. If anything, I would probably turn siege frequency to very low and keep horde frequency either at default or maybe even bring it up a little higher. So that way you can get orcs coming to you and you can wipe them out. But you can adjust these settings at any point in time. So it's not something that you have to worry about. Patrol frequency is how often orc and enemy groups spawn. Again, I'd keep that probably at default or maybe ramp it up a little bit depending on how good you are at handling those situations. So like I said before, I want to go over some of the basics, one of which is the ideal loadout, just in my opinion. We're going to go with your first melee weapon. I liked the one-handed swords and the shields. The shields allow you to bash some opponents and actually knock them down, and allows you to get a lot of hits in before they can get back up. And I just found it really, really effective. You can block with two-handed weapons as well. How effective they are, I'm not entirely sure. My friend did more two-handed while I did one-handed. You want to carry around food, just because in this game, man, your food bar and your stamina bar seem to go down constantly. If you have the ability to craft an oven at some point, there are ovens like this one here, requiring some copper, some stone, some wood scraps, and some coal. They actually allow you to make the food and be able to carry it with you. If you create food just from the hearth, like this one, they go onto a table and they cannot leave the table. You eat them off the table, and the food also spoils on the table. So overall, you want to avoid making a lot of food just in the hearth. Making the food in an oven is preferred. Continuing the loadout, I carry with me a full thing of wood scraps. Wood scraps are good for creating the fast builds, and these things will honestly save your life so many times. You're going to find purple smoke throughout the map where you're going to have, if you stay in the purple smoke for too long, you're going to start getting damage taken. And I found it's so much easier to just throw down a couple of quick platforms and just go around the purple smoke. Now, it's important to note that you can swap your quick build. On Xbox, it's going to be X, and it's going to change to the rope ladder that requires 2 natural fiber. Rope ladder is pretty convenient as well. You can set it up pretty high, and it'll drop the rope down. So if you're stuck at the bottom of a pit, it might be easier to just do this if you have some natural fiber on you in order to climb out of it. Continuing the loadout, you're going to have a hammer with you as you go. Your hammer is going to allow you to repair the statues that you're finding around the map. These statues are what you use or repair in order to unlock new recipes for armor and weapons. They are very important. If you're going for the completion, you absolutely have to repair these statues. In the beginning, the statues only require some stone to repair. In the later half of the game, they require some granite, the Era's granite, to repair. And once you get to a point where you're done repairing the statues in the area, they will no longer give you plans. They will actually just give you some material back, like some iron ore or such. So if you get to that point where you're in a certain area and you're repairing statues and it's no longer giving you any more plans, you can go ahead and skip repairing the rest if you like, because you're just not going to get anything else out of it. Next, we're going to have a pickaxe with us. Depending on how you want to do your masterwork, and I'll explain that in a second, you want to have a pickaxe of some caliber with you at all times. This right here is the last pickaxe that you get, the ironwood pickaxe. It is a tier 4. You'll go through a couple different tiers, and you can find those in a link below. You want to have that with you. Obviously, it's a mining game. In a lot of instances, you have to mine to get into the next area. So it's just a must-have, and it's pretty obvious. The masterwork, sometimes the masterwork can be a pickaxe, and you can use those in order to mine areas. For instance, this is the Durin's axe. It is one of the best items in the game, in my opinion, that allows you to mine with it. So I don't technically need this second pickaxe. But the masterwork items, you can only hold one at a time. You can only hold one masterwork item at a time. So here's the Durin's axe. If you run over here, here's going to be... So here's the quarry masterwork as well. As you can see, it drops the Durin's axe. It's the only item that you can carry at a time. You can only carry one at a time. It's also a pickaxe. It carves massive area. It'll take out huge chunks of rock. It is really nice. You'll get this far before you can get to the point where you can get Durin's axe. Metal fragments, these are not necessary to have on you, but if you pick them up, you want to keep them stored. Your metal fragments are actually what you use to repair items. So you're going to get to the point where you have a repair smithy, and it requires some number of metal fragments depending on how broken your items are in order to repair it. As you can see, this pickaxe is 98%. It's going to cost 1. And I've got 3,000. So it's not like you run out of them. They're pretty common. but that is what you use to repair your items. Don't think that whenever you deplete an item fully, you have to make a new one. I thought that in the very beginning, and it sucked. I was just wasting iron making new swords like an idiot. Moving on, you'll learn this as you play through the game. There's going to be a furnace where you craft ingots. There's going to be a forge where you take those ingots and you craft gear, you craft weapons and armor and such. The loom is what you use to craft leather, hides, cloths. There's actually a hierarchy here, so you can take hide scraps and turn them into hide. You can take the hide, turn it into leather. You can take the leather, turn it into fine leather. Same thing with the cloth. You can upgrade those, and it's very important. I'd say that the vast majority of the time I was always lacking in some form of leather or cloth, usually the fine leather. I just found myself always kind of needing it. And on the crafting list, you'll see that you're going to require a ton of fine leather in order to get everything crafted. Going forward, there is a rune table where you can inscribe runes onto a piece of equipment, your pickaxes, your swords and such, and you can make it to where you have some kind of damage modifiers, whether that be fire, electricity, chill, and extra damage against animals, extra damage against orcs or goblins. So that's pretty important, and it requires some of the fine gems that you find while mining. You do have treasure piles, and treasure piles you can also put material in. Some of the fine gems that you find while mining, you can actually put them inside of the treasure caches, and you admire them, and you get a buff. Speaking of buffs, you can also admire the hero statue that you can build. You'll find little places where you can get hero statues. You can honor them, and you also get a buff. You also get a buff while mining. You get a chance to sing while you're mining, and that will also give you a buff. But turning back towards forges, there will come a time where you can craft a bigger furnace. Here's the furnace here that'll allow you to craft pretty much all the ingots in the game. Here's the list right here. I have a spreadsheet already built out for what each of these need in order to craft. Sometimes they require not only the ore but also an attachment. So right here on silver ingot, you can see it requires 3 silver ore, but it also requires a bellows, which is just like an add-on that you build like right here, and it just allows you to create better things. There will also come a time where you have to create a salt bath, and the salt bath is used to create the Durin ingots, to create the Durin set of armor, and that's the only thing that the salt bath is used for, is creating the Durin ingots. To give you sort of a rundown on how your base should be running, you can create these pallets here and stack wood, stack all of your ingots and your ores together. And so long as they are within the confines set by your hearth, and you'll see whenever you go to build, there's a little... one second. There's a little area that you can actually build because of your hearth. And as long as you build it within the confines of the area, you should be able to pull any resource from the pallet when you're crafting. So I don't actually have to have silver ore on my person in order to create silver ingots over there. They have just have to be in some form of storage. They can be in boxes as well. They don't have to be on pallets, but ideally you want to put your raw materials on the pallets instead of in the boxes, because then your boxes are going to get extremely crowded and just ugly to deal with. Some of the things that you want to look for while you are exploring the map are these little statues, they're little carvings. They show up on your screen. They'll have like a little kind of purplish light to them on the ground. You want to take every single one of these that you can find, as well as these Rangers journal pages. And the reason why is because you'll find a little area in each of the main sections of the game that will allow you to put these carvings on them. And they unlock one of the rare variants of either a helmet or a shield that you need to craft in order to get your achievements. So I'll show an example of where to put these. But the main important thing is that you pick these up whenever you get a chance, so that way you can place them and have all of the recipes available. The Ranger's Journal pages, those are used to complete Ranger journals that are also found on the map, and those unlock the brew recipes that you need in order to craft all of the brews. I found the Ranger's journals a little bit harder to find where to place the pages. I mean, I had to spend a considerable amount of time on the PlayStation stack looking for the journals to place the pages in order to unlock the brews. Honestly, that was one of my least favorite parts of the game. And I'll show an example of that as well. So you want to make kind of a mental note as you work through the map of where the little statue areas are and where the journal page or journals are. That way you can go back to them as you collect the pages and fulfill that requirement. Continuing on, you want to get black diamonds. They are one of the most important resource in the entire game. In the first playthrough on the PlayStation stack, I actually got to the point where we couldn't get any more black diamonds, and we had to create another world in order to farm them, as I mentioned before. One of the ways that you can find black diamonds are there's going to be little orc encampments, and I'll probably just insert a clip here. There's little orc encampments where there'll be like 3 or 4 orc or goblin men around the area, and you'll want to run up on them. You'll kill them, and you'll find an orc chest within the little camp. Now, the orc chest is going to be locked, and how you unlock the orc chest is by smashing the little thing in the middle, the little flag in the middle, and it'll drop a key. And inside that chest, there's a chance that there's going to be black diamonds. Now, there's also a chance that the orcs within the mines are going to also drop black diamonds, but I think that's a little bit more rare. So I think it's a lot easier to like farm those camps out and hope to God that you get a black diamond out of it, because I don't know the exact number, but I feel like you're going to need like, say, 50, 60 of the black diamonds through the playthrough in order to progress all the way through the story. Black diamonds are also required in order to create map stones, and map stones are what you use to fast travel between areas. And that's very, very important for the game. I mean, that can cut out significant parts of time for your completion. I'll go over here. My fast travel points, as you can see, like here's the beginning of the game. We got Westgate, we got Mines of Moria. All these are different fast travel points that I placed personally. Here's a bunch here, and again here. So significant amounts, a lot of black diamonds are required or needed just to make it smoother. Another place that you can find black diamonds are in the very deep, dark crevices that you can find throughout the entire map. They look similar to this. It's just a hole in the ground. We put camp hearths nearby with some beds because you can die down there pretty easily. There's some monsters down there, spiders and such like that. You want to make your way down the little crevice here, the little shaft, however you can. I use the quick builds. Spencer here likes to use the one with the ladder. Either which way will probably work. The ladder might be the quick platform might be a little bit safer to go down. But yeah, just make your way down however best you can. Note that once you get to the bottom, there'll be a couple different entrances to some mine shafts. Going inside there's going to be things on the wall that you can mine. There's going to be little rocks on the ground as well. As you can see on the wall, there's that yellowish color. Those are precious gems, and there's a chance that black diamonds will be in those. This is decently late game, I guess. Might be mid game, and which I already have some pretty decent gear, but you want to come down here with a strong enough pickaxe to break these walls. As you can see, I don't have a strong enough pickaxe. My pickaxe was not good enough, but Spencer actually has the Quarry Master Masterwork pickaxe, which is strong enough. So you might need to just bring that if you're able to craft it. But these rocks here have a chance of having some black diamonds inside of them, the gems. The maps are completely random. There are some instances of the map in which it will be the same for everyone. So for everyone there's going to be an Elven Quarter, which is where I'm at right now. As you can see right here, this is the Western Halls. This goes from the starting area in the top left-hand corner all the way to the Mines of Moria. The Western Halls, it's going to look different for every single person, but everybody will have kind of like just a base set. So everybody's going to have this exact Elven Quarter, but the connecting areas, they might look a little bit different. So it's going to be hard to find something if you are looking up an online guide. Some people will tell you, oh, I found such and such location in the northern part, and you might watch a video, but it might not look the exact same as yours. So the most important thing to know is that the locations of certain items and bosses might stay the same. For instance, the first boss that you have to kill, the Bolgakh, or whatever his name is, he is going to be in the Mines of Moria, but it's different for everybody. So you're going to have to really search the area in order to find him, and it's going to be frustrating at times. I spent about an hour looking for him in this Xbox playthrough. In the PlayStation playthrough, we stumbled upon him very, very easy. And vice versa, on the PlayStation version, it took me a long time to find the final boss, but on the Xbox version, I pretty much just ran right into it. So that's one thing to know. The map is semi-random. There's going to be sections that don't look like anything else whenever you look it up online. So whenever I kind of go through the basics and how the story works, just keep in mind that yours is not going to look exactly like mine. I already went over the crafting briefly, but I want to go through a little bit more in depth. There are building plans here that you unlock throughout the game. Some of them will unlock as you enter new areas and as you come across new material. So like whenever you mine iron ore for the first time, it's going to bring up some of the crafting recipes, and it's going to unlock the pallet, for instance, where you can place down a pallet to stack up the iron. Some of the recipes will require you to build other things in order to access it. So, for instance, the gold that I mentioned earlier that I showed you, you're going to be able to create the treasure cache right off the bat, but you have to create the treasure cache before you get the treasure pile and so forth. You craft the treasure pile in order to unlock the next one. But most of the achievements don't require any of these really to be built. The main things are your cooking, your brewing, your handicraft items here. These you'll have to create in order to get further and create new items. There is a pretty impressive number of items that you can create for your base to set it up and make it look pretty, make it functional however you'd like. My PlayStation base looks a lot better than this one. This one we kind of just threw together because I was wanting to play through it kind of quickly since I've already done it on PlayStation. So there's different items that you can create. There's doors and such that work really, really well. I'm actually kind of impressed with the building system. Adamant, there's furnishings, different little things that you can put on there that make it look nice. Overall, I'm really impressed. But what everybody's probably wondering is the crafting list for achievements and such. So just know that you can go onto this tab right here, the crafting tab. Down in the bottom left-hand corner, you can see recipe list. I press X in order to go to the complete recipe list. And again, things will unlock as you go. And you'll have something similar to this, and it gives you an idea of where everything is. Now, I've already created an Excel spreadsheet, and I will drop the link in the description below. You can open that up, and you can look. That should be everything that you need in order to get all of the trophies or achievements, how much of each material you need, and it kind of gives a breakdown there. Just know that there are some items that you can't create in basic furnaces or forges, for instance. So you can look right here. You can see everything that is created in a regular forge. And you go down the list, and then you look at the Khuzdul forge, and it has many more different items. So you will need both of those. Also know that there will be great forges that you come across, and the great forges will kind of work similar to the Khuzdul forge, where there's certain items that you can use or create here that you can't use in a normal forge. So for instance, the Mithril Forge, you actually can't create the Mithril items inside of the Kuzdal Forge in your base. You actually have to go to the Mithril Forge in order to craft. For instance, this spear right here, this is the dragon spear. So you're actually going to have to take all of your items that you need to craft it, and you're going to have to go to the Mithril Forge in order to create it, which isn't a big deal. But that's where things like the fast travel stones, those are very, very important. I set up a fast travel stone at a few of these forges, so that way you can just fast travel straight there. You can create bases there if you'd like. That's actually probably pretty smart. The reason why I created my base where I created it is because there's natural light. So my farm over here, it's kind of dark to see right now, but my farm over here, you can just place them and it will grow. And this is also one of the beginning areas. It doesn't take long to get from the start point to here, the Elven Quarter. So I kind of set up shop here and it worked. These items here are able to create on your person. You don't need anything else to go with it. So you can create torches. Those are pretty important. Obviously, it's very dark right now. It gets incredibly hard to see in the mines, depending on your brightness level. So you always want to have the wood scraps on your person for the quick building and for the torches. You can create crystal flares as well, throwable torches. I didn't use very many of these. It requires true quartz. Not very much other things require true quartz, so I think they're okay to use. This is a backpack. This is the basic level backpack, so you don't need to create this outside of maybe like the first time. Like I was mentioning earlier, your stamina bar, your food bar, they go down like mad whenever you're out actually running around. So one of the things that me and my friends figured out is that there's actually no downside to dying, realistically. If you die, maybe your armor and your weapons take some damage, and you're gonna have to repair that. But if your stamina bar and your health bar, if they're incredibly low, sometimes it's a lot easier to just create something similar to this, where you climb up to a great height, and you just jump off, and you die. And you'll respawn on your bed, and you just go back and you pick up your items, your backpack, and you'll regain about half of your food bar, usually, and you'll have your stamina bar, if not completely full, almost full. That was a method that we did because whenever you're playing with like 4 people, it's a lot harder to get all 4 people to coordinate going to bed, because everybody in the instance in the world have to be initiating the bed at the same time in order to get it to sleep. The last few tips I can give for crafting materials would be for the leather, as in that's one of the most important items in the entire game for the crafting. If you're looking to 100% the game, the leather is best found here in the Elven Quarter. What I did was I would sleep every day, and there's going to be a number of deer that spawn. I'll show you here in a moment. There's going to be deer that spawn around the map. I'd say anywhere around like 10 or so deer. So you want to sleep, and you'll initiate their respawn. You can run around the map. You'll get used to their spawns, and you want to kill them. They'll usually just drop just some basic. So here we go, meat, and we're going to get hide. Same thing. I got 2 hide that time and some 3 meat. So you can also get up your meat reserves this way. Sometimes a bear or 2 will respawn, and that's also great. They'll drop meat, they'll drop hide, and that's what we want. So if you farm this area over and over and over again, and after killing the deer, you'll just go and you'll sleep at your bed. Sometimes it'll tell you that it's been too soon since you last slept, so you have to wait a little bit. But if you're farming these guys, you'll get a decent amount of leather or hide stocked up over a pretty short amount of time. It took me about an hour at the very end of the Xbox stack to get enough hide and leather in order to finish out my achievements. So you'll want to just run around, kill these guys. You'll get to the point where you can just sleep again and respawn them and stack up a pretty good amount. I don't know exactly how many leather, hide, or cloth you're going to need in order to do all of it. You're going to have to refer to the crafting list. But you'll probably have to stack up a considerable amount. But I found this was the easiest way. There are a couple different people online saying that hide and leather drop from higher level enemies later in the game. But I found it's a lot easier to just kind of farm these guys if you're looking to get items quick. One of the The other item that's going to probably cause you some issues getting the fine leather is going to be salt. As you can see, it takes some hide scraps and resin in order to create hide. It's going to require 1 hide and 3 salt in order to create a leather, and it's going to require 3 leather and 3 salt in order to create fine leather. So you can see it stacks up really, really quick. The best place I found to mine for salt is actually in... Let me try and mark it here. It's going to be in the blue area is where it starts. It's called the Crystal Descent. And then it leads into the lower deeps here. So everywhere in the purple. That's going to be the best place to mine salt early game, I would think. I found a lot of different deposits. There's a lot of salt. There's also a lot of silver ore. They look kind of similar, but salt is like really white on the walls. You want to get as much salt as you can. They only stack up to 30 in your inventory. So it kind of sucks. They'll take up inventory spaces kind of quick. But you want to mine those as you see them because salt is one of the things that you're going to need to create the higher level items. Now I want to go over all the different achievements that are in the game. There are 27 total achievements, some of which are just story related, and the rest of them require you to craft certain items or all of a certain item set. So these first ones here are going to be all of the story mission achievements. You should get the Elven Quarter achievement first. It's for discovering basically the first area in the game after breaking down a wall and some wood barrier. You're going to come across the Elven Quarter. It doesn't look like anything else in the game, so it's going to be pretty obvious. My achievement didn't pop until a few seconds after, so don't be afraid if the achievements don't pop immediately. Next, you're going to find a great forge inside of the Elven Quarter. After repairing it, you're going to be able to create steel ingots and therefore be able to create the steel pickaxe. This should be your second achievement in the game. After creating the steel pickaxe, you're able to get into the Mines of Moria, in which this achievement should pop. Now, it is important to note that the first boss of the game is actually located inside the Mines of Moria. I wasn't able to find him, and I had to double back after the fact in order to find him, but that's this achievement here, defeated Bolgakh. He is in the Mines of Moria. He's a little hidden away for me, at least on the Xbox stack. On the PlayStation stack, he was super easy to find. So just know that he is in the Mines of Moria. You could look up a couple guides or refer to later in the video where I go and I find him. He can be a little bit difficult depending on your gear set, so it's okay to come back, but you will have to kill him at some point because he has one of the Durin's axe fragments that you need to finish out the game. After entering the Mines of Moria, you will find an area that is blue on your map, and it is a giant lift. You have to repair the lift using a couple different materials that I'll show on the screen. After repairing the lift, you will be able to start going down the Crystal Descent. At the end of the Crystal Descent, at the bottom of it, you'll finally get to the part where it's the lower deeps. You'll unlock this achievement. Beyond the lower deeps, you'll have to do a couple things. You're going to have to fight another boss. You're going to have to drain a giant pool of water. And then you'll be able to access further on another great forge. And beyond that, the Tomb of the Kings. Tomb of the Kings is one of the areas that you have to get to just to continue. It's not missable in any way. After the Tomb of the Kings, you should get to the point where you're getting to Dwarrowdelf, the area between the Tomb of the Kings. Sorry. After Tomb of the Kings, you're going to have to repair a giant staircase. It's the next big area that you have to repair something in order to continue on. That requires granite and black diamonds. The black diamonds are a little bit harder to find. After you repair the staircase, you can go forward and you'll eventually come across Dwarrowdelf. I do have the achievement for finding the highway, but you shouldn't come across this until later in the game. In order to access the highway, you have to have Durin's pickaxe. I just so happened to have it, so I was able to access it earlier. Inside of Dwarrowdelf, you will find an area that is the Durin's Forge. Inside of Durin's Forge, it's basically a throne room. You will have to fight the Troll King, getting your next achievement here. After fighting the Troll King, you can finally craft Durin items in the Durin's Forge, including his armor and also the pickaxe. At this point, you will have to find any remaining missing pieces of the Durin's axe. Like I said, Bolgakh had one of the pieces, and the other four should be able to just be found. I'm not entirely sure if Troll King drops one or not. I know that he drops a ring that's not relevant to the story, but you'll have to find all 5 of the axe fragments in order to craft Durin's axe. Reforging Durin's axe, this is an unmissable achievement. You have to forge Durin's axe in order to continue the story. It's the only way that you can get into the highway. I have this a little bit out of order because I already had the Durin's axe whenever I went to complete the game. I did not have to craft it until after the fact. So this is something that you have to get in the story. This is not something that is missable. You should be able to craft this at some point after getting the 5 fragments, and then you get the achievement. That is going to take you to the next part of the story in which you enter the highway. And part of the highway is connected to the next area where you'll end up in the Angry Caverns. Inside of the Angry Caverns, you'll find the Mithril, everything. You'll find Mithril on the walls. You'll find the Mithril Forge. You have to access the Mithril Forge in which you can create the Dragon Spear. Continuing on in that area, you'll end up in a orc area, a red area on your map. Once you find your way or fight your way through that, you end up to a door that you have to have the Dragon Spear in order to access. And then after you access it, you will be in the final boss fight. You go through that and you can kill the Shadow Dragon, which is the last achievement that you need in order to complete the story. The story actually continues on after that, but it's not relevant for the achievements or trophies. Now I want to get into the crafting achievements, which is probably why you're here watching this. The crafting achievements can be a little tricky because it's not always super obvious what set has what in it. So I'm going to go one by one, and I'm going to refer to a spreadsheet that I built out that I put below, put the link below. So we're going to go one by one from what I think should be probably the first ones that you craft to the last. So the first thing that you can craft is the Iron Hills armor. It's one of the beginning sets of the entire game. So we're going to go and find on the spreadsheet the Iron Hills set right here. You're free to pause the video, take a screenshot, refer to the spreadsheet that I have linked either which way. But it's not too hard on your materials. It should be pretty easy, just the armor, gloves, and a shield. Next, we got the Erebor armor. The Erebor armor is located here. This is what it takes to craft it. Again, some of these items you will have to repair statues in order to get the recipes to craft these items. So if some of these items aren't on your list here, you need to go back and you need to repair statues in the given areas. So these are earlier armor sets. You're going to have to repair the statues in the first area or in the Mines of Moria. Belegost armor is next. Here is the set here. I don't believe that the shield was actually necessary to get the achievement. It says craft a full set of Belegost armor. It does not. I believe it popped without having to craft the shield. I went ahead and crafted it anyways just to be sure that it didn't count for anything further. So here is the recipe for the shield. You can try it out. You can craft just the rest and see if the shield is necessary or not. I didn't believe so I went ahead and left it off the list here, but added a little note here. The Khazad armor, it's important to note at this point, I know for a fact that the Khazad armor has a couple different variants. There are different variants of the Khazad armor, maybe even the Belegost armor, but I know for the fact Khazad armor and Mithril armor have different variants to it. You don't have to craft the variants. You can just craft the base set, which is what I have here. I think the variants required a little bit different materials. So just to be safe, I went ahead and just added the base set here. You should be able to craft these fairly simple. They're not too hard. Fine leather, fine cloth are going to be your hardest things to get. Moving on from the Khazad armor, we're going to go ahead and go to the Dwarven Masterworks. These are the items that you can only carry one of. You should be able to craft most of them pretty early on in the playthrough. The Durin's axe is probably going to be your last one just because it requires you to find all the fragments, and you're not going to have that for a while. I used originally the shield wall on the PlayStation stack because it had 100% durability. It did not degrade. It did not take damage. I believe they changed that with the new update, which I thought was a little weird, but it was pretty useful at that point. I think that it'll take damage, just like all of these will take damage now. It's very, very slow though, so maybe that's the counter there. I use the shield wall. My friend used the Quarry Master, which is a really great pickaxe. Does a lot of damage to the area whenever you use it. The Xerox torch can also be pretty useful. It'll light up. It doesn't go out. Other than that, I didn't use the Wonder Keg very much. It allows you to carry around your brews. I didn't utilize the brews. I might have, or I might should have. Um, I didn't. I just didn't access those until late game when I was hunting the achievements. So I'm not entirely sure if there are pros and cons of those, but it seems like something that's pretty late game, just in my opinion. Moving on, we have the Durin armor. It's important to note that the Durin armor and weapon and shield can only be crafted at the Durin Forge. So we're going to go ahead and find the Durin set here. Again, this actually requires the shield, unlike a couple of the other ones. So go ahead and craft all the sets here. You're going to have to take these materials and go to the forge. I set up fast travel points at some of the main forges, so that way I didn't have to like walk very far. So go ahead and plan for that ahead if you can. If you can't, then just keep a mental note of where the Durin's forge is. The map can be a little bit hard to navigate sometimes. But here is the Durin set. Moving on, we're going to do the Mithril armor as well. Here is the Mithril set. Just like the Durin set, you have to go to the Mithril Forge in order to craft it. It does require the shield, not just the armor. So here is the set here. It's going to take some Mithril ingots, some fine leather, cloth, and then 3 of each: ruby, sapphire, amethyst, diamond, and emeralds. This is the achievement for crafting all of the rare shields. Now, that's important to note, the rare shields are only able to be crafted by finding the recipes by placing the carvings into their little area, their little plinth. So you have to go and find all of those. You need to make sure that you unlock those. Keep mental note of where those are every time that you find one, the little altars. Make a mental note, go back after you find them. You can go into other worlds and pick up the carvings and bring them to your main world and place them. That is a viable strat. I did not need to craft the Ram's Head shield. It was not there in the original game. It's only there in the new update. So I was only able to, I only had to craft these 4. I did not have to craft the Ram's Head shield. So these are the 4 that you need to craft. You'll unlock these by putting all of the carvings in their place. Crafting all of the rare helmets, just the same as the shields. You have to get all of the carvings in their area in order to unlock all of the rare helmets. Here are the helmets here. Note, the crested helmet was added in the new update. It was not required for the achievement. It was not required for the PlayStation trophy either. So just these 5 helmets here were required to craft in order to get the achievement. Moving on, I want to do the full Elven combat set. As you can see from the picture here, it requires the spear, the shield, but it also requires a third item that kind of threw me for a loop here. It requires you crafting the Elven arrow as well, which is at the workbench. After crafting the spear and shield, I took a good amount of time wondering how the heck to get the achievement to pop, and it actually required the Elven arrow, so that kind of threw me off. At this point, I already had crafted the Khazad armor, so I'm not 100% sure if it requires the Khazad armor. I don't think that it does. I think that it just requires these 3. So keep that in mind. But here is the Elven set. Now I'm going to go over the 3 achievements for crafting the all the weapons in a certain area. We have crafting all weapons of the Western Slopes. We have the East Slopes. And we have the Deeps. If you refer to the spreadsheet, it's pretty much near the top. I am 90% sure that these are in the correct spot. There might be 1 or 2 slightly out of order, but I went through the list and I forged these weapons as I went, and I think that I have them in the correct order. Again, if you are just following along this guide or you have the spreadsheet open, you can kind of just tick them off as you make them, and eventually you'll find yourself having all of them anyways. So for the Western Slopes weapons, this should be everything that you craft in a normal forge. That's kind of, in my opinion, that's a good way to kind of separate everything. I think this is all of the Western Slopes because it's easy to access early game. The hunting bow is the one that kind of threw me off. The hunting bow is required and it's made at the workbench. And kind of following the same idea, the Deep's weapons also had the first age crossbow that was separate from everything else that had to be forged at the workbench. You will need the crossbow in order to progress in the story, so you should get this at some point. But here are the Deep's weapons. Most of these can be crafted at great forges, and they can also be crafted at the Kuzdal Forge, which is the bigger forge that you can place in your camp. But here are the Deep's weapons. And then finally, the East Slopes weapons. I only have 4 marked. I don't think that there are going to be any more that you haven't already crafted. Meaning, I don't think that the Durin's axe. I don't believe that Durin's axe is included in this, but it could be. I crafted this after crafting the Durin's axe. So, but these are the ones that are separate from everything else. These are crafted at the Mithril Forge or the Great Nogrod Forge. So we have the Mithril Matic. I'm not going to start to pronounce this. We have the Mithril Matic. We have the Dragon Spear here. And then we have the 2 Nogrod weapons, the Red Sword and the Red Axe. I usually use the Red Sword. It was pretty nice. It worked well. And these are the 4 that I believe are the achievement for the East Slopes. Last but not least, we have the achievement for crafting a full set of brews. If you're anything like me, it's going to be your last achievement that you need. It was the last trophy that I needed on the PlayStation stack, and it would have been the last Xbox achievement, but I was already set up and prepared for this. Crafting the brews requires you to get the recipes by placing the journal pages inside of the Ranger's journals. And at the very end, you will have to place down the King's Keg, the biggest keg, it's the 3rd one, in order to unlock the last 1 or 2 recipes. So there are a few recipes here. I believe there are 7. Most of these can be crafted in the smaller kettles, and that's how I want you to craft them because it requires the smallest amount of ingredients, the least amount of ingredients. So we have the Evening Ale, the Scour Pilsner, we have the Hop Goblet Lager, Mirivore, Ironheart Stout, we have Orcish Medicine, and we have Dawnbreak Pale Ale. The item that you need the most of would be the Kuzdal Oats. Those are fairly common. You can find those on the ground. Everything else is something that you can pick up off the ground. So I'd keep an eye out. The chitin and the scales. The chitin is from the moths. The scales are from the wyverns, the small dragons. Everything else should be pretty easy to find. You shouldn't have any trouble. If you save this for the last achievement, you'll probably have everything at that point in your base. That is all 27 achievements for the Lord of the Rings Return to Moria. The PlayStation has the same number of trophies, not including the Platinum Trophy, of course. They are not too terribly hard. I think a lot of people are going to get frustrated with the crafting achievements. Usually achievements that require you to craft all of something can be a little bit of a pain. Hope all of the tips and tricks actually help you out. It was a little bit of a learning curve. I would encourage you to look up other guides out there as well. This game was out for a while on PlayStation, and a lot of people found out a lot of better things than I did. But I hope this helped out. If after this I have a kind of a story walkthrough, it's not going to be the best thing in the world. It's going to be kind of expedited. It's going to be chopped and put together. But if you're stuck, it might help you out. So keep watching if you'd like. Otherwise, I hope this helped. Thank you so much. After you wake up in the mine, you're going to make your way through each room as you learn the basics of the game. You're going to eventually come to a giant crow named Eric. That's going to give you your story missions and give you a little bit of the background. At some point, you'll come across a makeshift base on your right. That is how you're going to learn how to set up a base proper. It's going to have you repair some of the equipment inside of it. You have to do this in order to continue. I actually skipped this on the second playthrough, went all the way to the Elven Quarter, and had to double back because you can't get the story mission for crafting the steel pickaxe without doing this. Near your first base, after you repair everything, you'll find your first little stand to put the carvings. I already had them on me, so you can see me place them. This is where you get the recipes for the rare shields and the rare helmets. So keep mental note of these as you continue on. Going through the tunnels, you'll eventually find yourself on this wall where you break through the dirt. And on the other side, there's going to be a little scroll that you pick up, and then more barrier, a wooden barrier that you break down until you find yourself in the Elven Quarter.
A chest. Seems like someone's already looted it.
A hidden elven cavern inside Khazad-dûm?
Elven Quarter.
My
Alright, this is where we should set up
What is
base.
this? I see something ahead.
Eyes of God was better than this flat pit. Moria will be out. This is all we got now. Faithful men won't have us.
This one's done.
Ooh, a rune. Is it that going? Translate.
After you clear out the enemies in the Elven Quarter, you're going to have to go a little bit forward and you'll find your first great forge. There's going to be enemies in here as well, and probably a bear. You can wipe those out if you can or if you have to. But you'll have to pick up the different parts of the forge that are broken. There's going to be a pipe, a crank, and a gear. You pick those up, you find the corresponding place to put them, and it should fire up the forge. This is needed to craft the steel pickaxe and enter the mines of Moria. This is where we gotta be.
In an elven hole within Khazad-dûm. Must be rubble in my eyes.
What legendary?
All right, come here. We gotta go up. We gotta go
Oh.
around. Oh wait, this one. This one's okay.
Stairs.
Yeah, it's the other one that we had to build. Go ahead and pop that bad boy. We gotta find the pipe. Oh, I found it.
I don't know.
It was way out
Alex
here.
took all my stuff.
Dang.
Ugh.
Pretty far away.
Ugh. Ugh. Oh, fuck. It's so heavy. Ah.
That's more like it.
Ugh. Jesus.
Oh, I found my ledge where I usually jump for my death.
Alright, I'm gonna drop it for leave.
Good memories.
As soon as I figure it out.
It's so hard to drop stuff.
Alright.
Oh, this isn't heavy. What are you talking about?
What?
It's really light.
We gotta... We're gonna have to do like this handoff thing.
I remember the handoff.
They don't make this very easy to do. And I'm not entirely sure why. But basically, you're gonna put it down close to me, and I'm gonna pick it up, and then we're just gonna like leapfrog it.
Oh, you would like that, wouldn't you?
The easiest way is just to switch to your weapon and hit X in your inventory. Yeah. Now you're gonna come up here. Yeah. Levi gets it. Look at that. That took so much longer with
did it.
Spencer.
Pretty sure I figured it out pretty quick.
After fixing the forge, you're able to craft the steel pickaxe, which again you need to continue to the mines of Moria.
There's wolves at our base. They're destroying our hearth.
Go! So fix the forge, gather materials needed for the steel pickaxe, craft it, you'll get an achievement, and then go to the entrance of the mine and break down the dirt wall.
Ew.
All right, I'm in the mines.
Of Moria.
And lots of coal.
I hope you
Good,
lead
good,
to
good.
Dwarrowdelf.
All right.
And some
Yeah, Levi.
treasures
The
along the way.
mines are here. The mines are open. I should have brought more stuff. Should have gotten an achievement over there. Ooh. 20 stone. If you look in the top left-hand corner of my screen, you can find the mini map, and you can see a little bit of blue on the doorway to the next area. That is what you're looking for inside the Mines of Moria to get to the giant lift to lower you into the lower deeps. You'll probably spend a decent amount of time inside the Mines of Moria gathering material and such. As you'll see in a second, the lift requires kind of a lot of material whenever you're first starting out.
We'll see.
You're going to slowly make your way down the crystal descent. There's a lot of scaffolding already placed, but feel free to just place down your little quick builds in order to get down safely. I did get stuck on the crystals on the PlayStation playthrough, so don't try to avoid them at least. Good news! Made it to the deep. After you reach the bottom, you'll continue forward along the path, going through the different rooms. Eventually, you'll come to an area that it tells you to follow the Pilgrim Road, and you'll unlock the achievement for reaching the lower deeps.
Levi, what did you need?
Bigger pack. That's what. That's all I
We need
want.
salt.
All right. If I know how to find salt, I will find it for you.
Continuing along the path, you're eventually going to come to this room that has a staircase with a fast travel point on it. Leading up the staircase, you're going to find a giant pool of water. There is a boss inside of the water. You are going to have to kill this boss in order to progress in the story. It is a watcher in the water. It's basically a giant squid. You're going to need a first age crossbow in order to take this thing out. And you're going to shoot it in its eyes in order to get the health bar down, and then it'll go down in the water, and then you can safely build across.
Enough stone.
Okay, here we go. All right. You guys want to get right here?
Pull out our bows.
I do not have a bow. Was I supposed to bring one?
No, you need a crossbow.
Oh.
A bow or
It's not spawning sweets.
try to cross.
Fucking scared. Okay. Alright, spawn.
Do we need Ubisum wood, or are we really
Oh my god.
You
Yeah.
were complaining about not having it.
Was I?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll get some.
You're like, we need ubusum wood. Why do we not have any ubusum wood? I was
Oh,
like, we have
uh,
some.
That was iron
too.
wood.
Are you guys?
No, that was ubusum.
Yeah, I need you guys to kill them, because I think I'm the only one that can kill the thing in the water. Because I have a crossbow. The
I
bow,
believe
doesn't,
I.
believe I have
heard
it.
it.
the bow doesn't work.
I believe the bow works.
I think the bow works. I think we were trying to use bow or arrows with our crossbow.
No, we got bows. We got bows. We spent like 45 minutes getting the bows. Because that guy told us to. And we shot at it and it didn't work. But feel free to try and shoot at its eyes.
I did. I think I did.
Well, I shot both times whenever when we did that. Like I just did that too.
All right. Well, you hold off, because I'm gonna get this last one.
Alright. Wait, I'm gonna get the last one.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You hold off. You don't get the last one. You shoot the guys.
No, I'm getting the last one.
Oh, This is worried he's wrong.
Yep.
Oh, he's about to go.
Okay, my guy says bow's useless. It needs more power.
Well, there you go.
Makes
All right.
Yeah.
past him.
I can't hit this.
Oh.
Oh.
Which
So
was
if I did
very,
it, you
very
mean
good.
he didn't do it?
We got it.
I don't. I'll get you the clips.
We finished.
This fight, this thing that we just did, took Spencer and I over 2 hours
I
to
wonder
to succeed.
if it's the same
Uh,
watch that attacked
Because
It's
it
really
wasn't-
easy. Just 4 hits. I mean, that's.
Yeah, well. After you defeat the Watcher, you'll be able to safely go across the water building piers. Once you get to the other side, there's going to be various sections of pipe missing. There are going to be a few of the pipe there, but what happened was I actually had to set up a base here and set up a forge. That way I could actually make my own replacement pipes because there wasn't enough to fill all of the gaps. That did not happen on the PlayStation section. I don't know why it happened on the Xbox section. I don't know if it's like a new thing or not, but just be prepared for that. But once you kill the Watcher, there shouldn't be any kind of a problem going back and forth.
Wait, can I do that with your sacks that use all our fine leather?
No, I think that's for building. Maybe the scroll.
No, don't do it. I'm so close. You're gonna have one in less than 5 minutes.
John, you want an adventurers pack?
No, don't do it. All right.
Boom!
I'm coming back to the real world.
After you successfully rebuild the pipes and drain the water that's in the other section of the map, you'll be able to get further down into the lower deeps, in which you'll find this area. There's going to be a lot of spiders around. They're going to be kind of a pain. You want to kill them all. If you look at the mini map, you can see that there is another section of this room that you can actually break through. And on the other side is a library monument, and you want to sing to that until it teaches you how to build a recipe. I'm gonna die from this poison.
Like, I wonder if they're gonna do it.
Almost a perfect run.
No, nothing's breaking. It's just dropping stone.
Oh, you might not be able to go. Oh, are you just like swinging on a wall?
But it's super shiny.
Okay.
Is it the ceiling?
You probably can't break
Is it where the light's coming through?
I think
No.
you can't break it. I think what you're talking about, you can't break.
Sounds like you're trying to break it in real life.
Yeah, you can't do that either.
Do we need coal? Is coal like valuable?
Coal is
Back to
pretty
work.
important. So at this point, you should be able to craft a Shanor hammer, which is used to repair better statues. Continuing into the lower deeps, you'll come across a bigger orc encampment, and right behind that is another great forge. After repairing that, just like the other forges, you'll be able to continue even further and eventually come across a door that is shut with a statue in front of it. You sing to the statue for however long it takes, and it'll open the door, and you will enter the Tomb of Kings.
Steam vent got me. Wish someone would have plugged those.
Yeah. I used to. Then Alex would be like, "Don't plug those."
Don't plug what?
The steam vents. I don't know why you would think that it did open the doors.
I don't know, but the fact that you have to sit there and sing for like 3 minutes to open it is the craziest mechanic I've ever seen. Like,
Wait,
it
so
doesn't
doesn't open it?
it doesn't open it immediately. You have to finish the song.
Oh, I wish I had a crossbow.
The tombs of Durin.
Wow, the
Their
Tomb of
final
Kings.
resting place. What an honor to see this.
After After you go through the Tomb of Kings, you'll come across the Eastern Stairs that require 100 granite and 20 black diamond to repair. At this point, the granite should come pretty easily, but the black diamonds, you might have to farm those a little bit. Just like before, keep following along the path. You'll end up in the upper city, and beyond that, Dwarrowdelf, which is your next storyline achievement. At this point, Dwarrowdelf is probably the hardest part of the entire game. It is huge. It's convoluted. There's a lot of enemies. The Uruks end up getting introduced, and they're a lot harder to kill. But keep going along the path, and you'll eventually find where you need to go. I'm in Dwarrowdelf.
The great
Spence.
city of Dwarrowdelf.
Everything looks the same. The map's useless. Tells me nothing.
It was at this point that I went back into the Mines of Moria in order to find the first boss. I couldn't find him the first time around, but he is important to the overall story because he has a piece of Durin's axe. So you absolutely have to kill him at some point before finishing the story. And so it's very important that you refer to this guide. You might refer to other guides because where he's located is not always the same, and it's not always super easy to tell. For me, the map was laid in on itself, so it looked like I had discovered every single room in Mines of Moria, but that wasn't true. I had to climb up this building and go around, and eventually I found myself where I could see the little red area that was next, and that is where you go to find the first boss.
Change.
I fucking found it.
Good.
Can't see it on the map because it's above an area you already discover. So I found a spot where I can climb up, and I climbed up, and you go backwards, and I see the red. Kind of makes it dumb.
Crummy mini-map.
Yep, there he is.
Bolgakh.
Here to pay tribute to Bolgakh, King of
Yeah, so-
Azog, true Lord of Moria.
You will die just as he did.
Give him a good welcome, lads.
You jump down here? Where you go?
Let's see it.
Oh, there he is. Where's he at? Oh, there he is.
There he is.
You will fall like Azog.
You will die.
Is he getting shit on?
Like any orc.
Got ya.
Orc will be Lord of Moria.
Come here and lose your head like a good wolf. Wolf scum.
Mithril shield's broken.
Fools.
Arrow.
You'll never be rid of us in Moria.
Now we're in trouble.
I'm glad we killed him.
We did it.
Oh, we gotta find Durin's axe.
Precious gems. Neat.
Be a Durin's axe frag. There, I think I see it. Let's go. Let's fucking go, Levi. Oh, 3 out of 5.
We did it.
We did. After defeating Bolgakh, I actually went back to the upper city in order to find the next section of the map to continue the story. Inside of Dwarrowdelf, it's called Upper City in the left-hand corner of the screen. You're looking for a more orangish area on the minimap, and that's called Desolation, and that furthers the storyline.
It was the
I am now in the Desolation
rampaged
place,
through here.
Spence. I am where we needed to go. And where we found all those people that were fighting, if you remember.
Fighting each other.
Yep. It's going to sound a little dumb, but you want to make sure you go across this bridge to enter the next part of this giant cavern. If you don't go across this bridge, you don't initiate the, not cutscene, but the dialogue with the final boss. And he actually glitches out and will sit there on your screen. And I don't know if it affects anything late game, but just to be safe, you want to make sure you go across this bridge in order to initiate that dialogue. Next, you want to go up this wall on the right where you saw the final boss. Climb up there using your little quick platforms, and you'll come to a bridge. You want to make your way across the bridge in order to find yourself in the Durin's Forge, where you will fight the Troll King. I don't think so.
I'm not dodging.
Uh,
There we go. Let's go.
Oh. No. Ooh, take his chest.
No.
I think if anything, Spencer needs to jump. You know what? Fuck it.
Wait, why aren't we just
It's gonna
building
fall
across?
because it'll fall. It's red. It's about to fall. Oh my gosh. Okay, we made it. All right, we gotta go up here.
Hey, there's something there. Nothing here.
All right, here we go.
Oh, King.
Wait, where are we supposed to have bedrolls?
King of Moria.
We don't.
Oh boy.
He doesn't fight back. He just sits.
Oh, that's nice.
I'm stuck inside of him.
I haven't done much damage to him.
Nah, he's
Pretty
tough.
tough.
Yeah. Very hard to kill.
Come on, spam, spam, spam. It's gonna initiate it, and he's gonna be like so low. What the hell?
His arm's broken.
Did you see that arms? He did a win.
Yeah.
Did a windmill. What
Whoa!
the heck is he doing?
Bro. What is he doing?
Are we squeezing him so he can't engage? There we go.
Nope. Oh no.
Ouch.
All right. He broke
He's stunned.
all of my armor
Quick.
in one hit. Yep. He runs and he gets stunned, and he just bitch slapped me. Okay, now he's gonna run.
Good,
Levi.
good, good.
He's gonna get stunned.
He did. Oh, he did get stunned.
Watch your in shadow, by the way.
Yep. Mine's pretty high.
I'm stuck.
Oh no.
Here we go. Here we go. I took it.
Killed fence.
I'm about to die from the shadow. I need to
Yeah.
eat.
Alex
we'll
is
get-
fighting instead
we'll
of
get him-
picking
Where's
me
my
up.
food?
I'll get him out.
I can't find my food. Do I have food?
I wouldn't think so.
Thought I had more, but I
They're
must
throwing
have...
stuff at you, Levi.
Well, I'm dead anyways.
Alex, you're last alive.
All right.
I'm really close to you.
He's running at you.
Nerd.
All right, pick me up instead.
You lured him right onto my body, so now I'm in the shadow.
Well, gotta get a whole spinner here. I threw a rock. Shows good throw.
Throwing it around another one.
Yep. Now we gotta bait him over.
Oh, Spencer, you're learning about my body again.
I got him. We both got him. Get up! Come on!
Great. Shadow cursed. Right off the
got
bat.
this guy.
No, we went around the damn thing.
Okay, you get him. I'll go in for this door.
Thank you.
Alright, he's on me. Alright,
Alright,
bring me
Spencer,
back.
I'm gonna need you to
No.
revive me again.
it's alright. He's focused on me.
I remember what you called me.
Dork.
Yeah.
Oh, I am. Does the shadow thing not kill you? Because it brought me down to
I don't
Yeah,
know.
basically
I'm not.
no health.
I'm
Just stop.
focused, Jack. Okay, get off that and go on your Xbox.
So now I'm invulnerable to shadow? Or. Oh.
I doubt it.
Shadow will
Okay.
kill you.
Well, if I believe you.
Pick him up.
Alright, but if I get 1 damage, I'm dead.
No,
Oh,
liar.
the shadow should do
Just
it.
took 3.
Okay, 4 damage.
It didn't
I
pick
can
him up.
revive you while I'm down.
What the
Oh,
heck?
this is the meta. This is the meta.
Hold on, we got this guy.
Oh, that hurt. Uh-oh.
He's sprinting. He's stunned. He's stunned. I'll pick up Levi. I can pick him up while I'm getting up.
That's so good. Finally, I'm not shadow cursed. Spawn again.
Let's go.
Yeah, I'm ready now. Practically full health, you know.
Oh, why did he do?
Oh, he's dead. He's dead. Ugh.
We got it. Don't worry,
got-
Spence. We got him.
Why did he turn around like that?
Don't worry. You're good.
We did it. Easy as.
Yeah, that was easy. They should make these harder.
Yep.
I'm gonna use that map stone.
Oh, I need Durin's crown.
I need to get my stuff fixed.
Just like all the other forges, the Durin's Forge will require you to repair it by finding the missing pieces and putting them in their place. All of the pieces were there for me on both playthroughs, so you shouldn't have any issues. But the Durin's Forge is required to craft Durin's Axe, and that's how you get to the next section of the map, by using Durin's Axe to break down the doors of Durin, or the doors to the highway. Back in the area of Desolation, there is the Great Forge of Nogrod, which is required to be repaired in order to craft 2 of the weapons, the red axe and the red sword. So make sure that you find that, you repair it. If you have the material available, you might want to put a fast travel point down. But other than that, that is necessary to 100% the game. Again, after you craft the Durin's Axe, you will be able to break down the purple stone doors or gates in order to access Durin's Highway. This is where you will go in order to access the final areas of the game, where you'll find the final boss, you'll find the Mithril Forge, and the last section of mines that allows you to mine the Mithril. You want to just keep pushing through the Durin's Highway. I had to actually build up into the area. If you're looking for an area called the Crossroads, you'll break into a dirt wall and you'll find Eric there.
Putting in my buildings?
Your building's in your base. Yeah.
Alec, what news from the king?
Good news. Lord Gimli crosses over the mountain.
Just
to the
automatically?
Timber Gate, East Gate.
Yeah, Levi mentioned something about it, but I didn't hear what he said.
King Thorin travels to meet Gimli.
The king is coming too.
They take advice and stay outside. King says you must make Mithril weapon. Kill the dragon.
The Redhorn Lode here is the final area. It is marked by the bluish area on your map or mini map. That is where you can mine Mithril. That's where you find the Mithril Forge. That is where you'll craft the Dragon Spear, and where you will find the very last section of the map. That is the Shadow Town or Shadow Orc place, and that's where you find the final boss. Found the Angry Caverns, achievement unlocked.
They're not gonna.
No, they're not. It was a really good first season, I think.
It was good.
All right, Spence, let's look around for the.
Gosh. Of course, you gotta sync to it for 2 minutes.
Yeah, this is the craziest thing. Let me time it. I think we started around like 30. Let's say 35 seconds.
Oh my gosh. Well, hang on. Verse 2. Jeez.
So about a minute and 10 seconds of singing.
Takfa Durin Kudri.
It's rough. I danced in this forge a few months ago.
Pickaxe.
Yeah, well, no, that's not the right pickaxe.
There it is.
Yes.
Find the dragon's hoard.
Now keep in mind the area that you're looking for inside of the Redhorn Lode or the Mithril Mines. It is a red area. Don't go backwards like we did trying to find the dragon spot. We were mistaken on where we could find it. The map again can lay in on itself, so sometimes it's a little difficult to find. But the ending area is located here in the Mithril Mines, and you see the little red doorway here. God, thank you.
How do I stop being poisoned, please?
This.
Made poison a lot more dangerous.
Put down a little map stone. Yeah. All right, Spence. I did it.
Okay.
All right. Teleporter's here. You're going to make your way through the red area. There's going to be a lot of orcs. They do have shadow weapons now, meaning they'll hit you and you'll be shadow cursed. That can do some damage. Be prepared for a big fight. Be prepared for a long fight. I would bring anything that you can to help. I'd bring material to build a hearth, some bedrolls, some teleporters. Just makes it a lot easier. This second fight on the Xbox as compared to the PlayStation took a lot longer. We died a ton, and you'll learn that once you start dying and your armor breaks and such, it's just like dominoes. It makes it a lot harder to go back and survive going forward. But I will play the rest of the clip of us going through the boss fight. We are going to make the dragon hit the different pillars to break them. The game actually ended up glitching at some point, and what should have happened was after the pillars all broke, she should have flown off to the next area, in which she did not, and it's because the little dragons, the wyverns, they're supposed to come down and you're supposed to fight them, but one of ours got stuck. I had to climb up to it using the little quick platforms, kill it, and then it initiated her flying off. You go into the next room, you climb up the little rock face, and you get to the final section where you get a free fast travel point in which I would put new bedrolls down, new hearth, and get ready for the final fight. Oh my god, it works
down here.
I think this dragon got stuck.
Is glitching it out?
Yes.
Is that dragon holding up all the roof?
I don't know, but I just killed it.
The orcs dug.
I really hope my shit spawned down. She fell up.
No.
She left.
She's gone.
Oh my god, that's what it was.
A few times, yeah.
Oh my gosh, I almost fell.
I've fallen about every time.
Oh, that's because you didn't have me building for you.
Well, you don't. It's fast.
Huh?
It's all about speed.
It's all about avoiding those guys that are hitting you. I feel like that's probably what got you.
The thing that got me is about to get you.
Yeah, right. Get me? Who, me? Oh shit. Who, me?
Mm-hmm.
I just unlocked the fast travel.
Oh, you didn't kill it.
I killed the other one.
It's a funny trick. You got me.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna all right, I'll attack it.
He just stands there and shoots so I can't jump up.
Its tail that's not even initiating an attack hits me and does damage to me, and it's kind of corny. Killed it! For real this time. Okay, can I get a bed?
Yeah, but so see how long it takes for me to pull myself up? He'd shoot me during that animation every time. It was just like... gladly.
For glory!
For
Come
death
on!
and glory. For Rohan and your people.
Now you will face my wrath. We gotta blow up these pillars, right?
Holy, grant me strength.
Pretty sure
That
we
would
gotta,
be redundant.
I think we gotta break these pillars. Actually, I remember for sure, because I remember we tried to kill him over and over and over again and didn't. You're done for, bitch. Got one.
Horn of Bellhammer will sound in the deep one last time.
Oh, this guy's done for. Got two down. Oh, rode his tail.
I'm distracting him.
Good job, Spence. Hold on. Gotta get my stamina back. And the most important fight of the game, I gotta get my stamina back. Sure glad he's not doing anything, though.
Yeah, I know. Super chill right now.
Oh, you gotta break that pillar.
I can't.
Oh, you don't have a pickaxe. No, quit. You're gonna need that.
I don't. It doesn't have a health bar.
Mine does. Oh, you. Oh.
Here we go.
Oh, you fucked up, buddy. You fucked up. Oh. Put me on the wall a little bit. Come on, bitch. Come on.
I'm gonna see if I have anything to eat. Those weird like drink books. Increase stamina, increase attack, increase armor. Yeah.
Yeah, I just popped them all too. We're basically fucking high as hell. Come on.
He keeps blasting me away.
Yeah. There it is. Kill the dragon!
All right, I'm leaving.
Oh. We're celebrating.
I mean, dude, that was great.
Let's go.
It was cool. The dragon is awesome, but man.
Black diamonds, mithril ore, and a worn down ring. Wait. Come on, Spence, do the jig. Come on, baby, let's go. Bro was done for.
Oh my gosh.